YouTube, I'm back again today for another game review. And today I'm very excited to check out Muertoons from Steve Jackson Games. This is for 3 to 5 players, age is 10 plus, and it'll take you about 10 minutes to play. And Muertoons is a gamery version of Uno, based on the very popular, I imagine, TV show slash movie slash book, I guess, of the Muertoons, which is about some undead girls who do stuff. It is a lightweight, simple, gamey version of Uno. But is that good? Is that bad? Let's open it up and I'll tell you what I think. Alrighty then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Muertoons. So first and foremost, we're going to get our handy dandy rule sheet. It is one large page, double-sided, full color, full of pictures, illustrations, examples, and the back just clearly goes over what each and every suit in the game does. Overall, it's a well-done rule booklet. It should have you up and running in no time at all. You probably need it once or twice, never need it again, because it comes with handy dandy little player aid cards. So in Muertoons, this is kind of like a gamery version of Monopoly, where you're going to have a big old hand of cards, and you are going to try to get rid of all your cards by playing your cards to the common discard pile in the middle, but you're going to have to play cards based on what the previous player put into the middle. What am I talking about? Let's go over the components. We'll get into the gameplay. Component-wise, you're going to get cards, cards, and more cards. So currently I have a 4-player game set up. So when you first start the game, you're going to deal out cards evenly, making sure to deal out one extra set of cards so you will not have perfect information. You deal that to the Muertoon or the Day of the Dead, or I don't know, theme-wise, what the heck it's about. Each player is also going to get this handy-dandy little player reference card, which will take you over the 5 different suits in the game, and then this one spirit card that is in the game, which is a wild. And I like the fact there's only one in the entire game, but I will go over what each of the suits does. Let's take a look at our cards. They're going to be numbers 1 through 11 of the different suits like so, and they are both, they have the numbers and they also have colors and symbology, so it is colorblind friendly there as well. Even though I wish the colors on the cards were a little bit more, I don't know, I wish they were a little bit easier to decipher, because like look at these 2 colors in the background, you know, it's like, they kind of look the same, but that's a minor nitpick. We'll talk more about that in the pros and cons. So what are you going to do? On your turn, you are going to play to whatever is in the middle when it's your turn. So I would just go first, and I'd see that there is a Rosita in the middle. Then I look at my handy dandy little player reference card, and then I say must play the next highest number. So I can play a 2 of any suit that I would like, or I could play a spirit card, but obviously I'm probably not going to play a spirit card because that's a wild. So the spirit card you can play whenever you want, it does not matter. So I'm going to put this 2 BB right there. So now this person's going to look and they say, all right, what does BB do? And they'd say, oh, well, I have to play the next higher number as well. So now I'm looking through my hand and I am looking for a 3, and oh my gosh, I do. I got a 3. So I could do the Rosita or I could do the Ruby, but obviously, since I'm trying to show you what all the different suits do, I'm going to go ahead and play this Ruby right here. So boom. So now this player takes a look at what Ruby does. And Ruby has one of the more interesting ones. Everyone shows a card. So you're going to secretly put down a card you're all going to reveal at the same time. Now, if someone plays the Spirit, then they automatically win. So let's just randomly do this. So if someone plays a spirit, they automatically win this. But if no one plays a spirit, which most likely probably will happen, whoever has the highest ruby out of these 4 cards is going to win, and then they take control of the game, so they have the next turn. So everyone's going to get rid of 1 card, but if you take control, then you can take control of the game and get rid of another card, and you can kind of shaft other people from getting their turns. If there's no winner, the next player plays their card as per regular. So 11, 6, 8, 2, no rubies, and nothing. So we just go like that. And now this player gets to play whatever they want. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at what Gabby does. So he's going to play the 1 Gabby right here. And how this works is the next player has to play the same number or any Gabby. And this one's really bad, because if you can't do it, if you pass, which is what you do if you can't play a card, then everyone gets to give you a card. Which is a really big bummer, because obviously they're losing cards and you're gaining cards. So I play this 8 Gabby right here, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, do I have a Gabby? Yeah, I do. So boom, got a Gabby as well. Now, last card in the game is the Lupita, and probably the most difficult one to explain. So let's just say that someone plays a Lupita. I know obviously you couldn't do that right now, but we're going to pretend that someone had played a Lupita. So the next player has to play the same number or any Lupita, so they have to play a 1 or any Lupita. And oh my gosh, I don't have a 1 or a Lupita, which is really bad. So I have to pass. Now, if you pass on a Lupita, the next previous player, so the player who played the Lupita, is going to get to discard a straight. So as big a straight as they can. So I'm going to go 8, 9, 10, 11, which as you can see, that's a huge change in the game because I just got rid of 4 cards. Bam! And now it goes back to this guy where he can now play on this 11, which is a really big bummer for him because Ruby, everyone shows a card. Oh, actually, this is this Ruby one, the Spirit one. Because I was going to say, normally you cannot play on an 11 of Rosita and BB unless you have the Spirit card, which means you have to pass, which is a little bit of a bummer. But anywho, you're going to continue to do that until someone has gotten rid of all their cards, at which point they will be the winner of Muertoons. And that, in a nutshell, is how the game is played. Alrighty then, Muertoons from Steve Jackson Games. What are my final thoughts? Let's cover the pros, let's cover the cons. First, on the con side, game's not going to be for everybody for a variety of different reasons. First and foremost, if you do not like light, simple games, this one is not going to be for you. If you immediately cringed at the fact I said this was like a gamery version of Uno, and you're like, don't touch it, don't touch it, this one's probably not going to be for you. You have to go into this knowing that this is super light, super simple, family weight, maybe lightweight game night filler game sort of material here. Also, I wish the box was smaller. You know, it's a very thin box, which is nice, but still at the same time, you could have made this a smaller box. This could have been just like a standard pack of cards or like one of those little double tuck boxes they use for like Simon's Cat or something like that. So the fact that the box is a little bit larger than I'd like it to be, you could probably fit 3 versions of the game in here, is slightly annoying, but I've seen a lot worse boxes, so I can let that one slide. Also, if you don't know what Muertoons is, then this one's probably not gonna really interest you, because I know there's quite a few other games on the market that are gamery versions of Uno, and if you don't know what Muertoons is, I don't know if this is going to appeal to you as much and appeal to your kids as much, because obviously the IP, you know, I think they're trying to sell the game based on the IP, so I don't know. I'm assuming it is an IP, but who the heck knows. Any other cons over the game, you gotta know it's light, you gotta know it's simple. I like it best at the higher player counts. I mean, yeah, you can play it at 2 players. I would not recommend it particularly at 2 players. 3 players is good, 4 players is better, 5 players is best. I liked it best at the higher player counts. The game can also be very swingy and very luck-driven as well. If you have good cards, you have good cards. You have bad cards, you have bad cards. If the person in front of you has a lot of good cards, well, then you might be in a little bit of trouble. Also, it can swing wildly, like you saw on, what was it, the Lupita card, where if someone cannot play on that Lupita and then the person in front of them just happens to have like a really nice long straight, then boom, they are heavily in the driver's seat. So yeah. Any other cons out of the game? No. Moving on to the pros. The kids in my class enjoyed this. I actually enjoyed playing it with the kids in my class as well. It's a little bit too light for me for a game night filler game, so I don't think it's going to quite fit that category for me. But for the time being, I am going to keep this in my collection as just as a game that I'm going to bring into my class. Whether or not will stay in my collection in the long term will probably base on how much my wife/son enjoy this when they get old enough to play it. Actually, my wife is old enough to play it, but my son, when he gets old enough to play it, see if he likes it. Because here's the thing, I enjoy Uno. I grew up with Uno. It's got that soft spot in my heart. I work with children, so I play Uno quite frequently. I used to play Uno quite frequently because, you know, it's all about numbers and colors, which is great. You can teach it to a 4, 5, 6-year-old, no problem. They can work on their numbers. They can work on their colors. Maybe you take out some of the more difficult cards, and then they can play that. However, this is a step up from Uno, and I like the different special abilities in the game. I think they have some really interesting ones. I like the Ruby one, where everyone's going to lay down a card and you're like deciding, do I want to take control of this by trying to play a Ruby while someone else might be doing this? Or do I want to get rid of a really, just get rid of a card that I'm not particularly fond of in my hand? I like those sort of interesting choices there. I don't want to oversell how complex the game is, but I definitely think there's less luck in this game than there is in Uno. And I think like that I can definitively say that, which is a good thing. So in the end, Muertoons, is it going to set the world on fire? Is this one that I'm going to be like, you need to go get this, go buy this? I'm going to say, no, it's not. I mean, it's okay. It's good. I enjoyed it. I will keep it to play with the kids in my classroom. The kids in my classroom really stinking like this, despite the fact none of them know what Muertoons is. And I now actually want to kind of research what this is. And part of me wants to research it, and part of me just wants to completely stay in the dark, because I asked a classroom full of 17 7 to 10-year-olds, 6 to 10-year-olds actually, If they had any idea what Muertoons was, they had no clue. I asked a bunch of grown-ups at my game night, they knew what Muertoons was. Nobody had a clue. I have no clue. My wife has no clue. My kids have no clue. What is Muertoons? Maybe it's Steve Jackson Games coming out with their own IP. I don't freaking know. But that is Muertoons. It's okay. It's good. If you got somebody who likes Uno and they're looking for a nice little bump up, this is definitely one I can recommend as a family game. I enjoyed it, and I think you will as well if you go into it knowing it's light and simple. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know, Muertoons, do you know what it is? Don't tell me what it is because I want to be in the dark here, but do you know? Just a simple yes or no. Not too much audience participation this time. I just want to see it. I want Steve Jackson Games to see how many people actually know what this is. Am I just completely off base? That really intrigues me. Let me know, though, and as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.